Alright, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is yet again another makeup tutorial. I'm so excited for this one. It's more of like a peachy, springy makeup look. That's what I want to go for. Of course, you know, once you sit down and start filming, things can change fairly quickly. So we'll see if I can stick to that. If you're new, welcome. My name is Sophia. I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to leave me your comments down below on what you guys want to see next. And without further ado, let's go. To get started, I'm going to be moisturizing my skin. The moisturizer I'm using is the Ole Henriksen facial moisturizer. This is the C Rush brightening one. I used this a couple of times and I really enjoy it. I will say though, a little bit of this goes a very long way. Like, you literally only need a tiny bit of it. It is more of like a thicker moisturizer, but I really enjoy that. I'm using another Ole Henriksen product. This is the Ole Henriksen Makeup Primer Banana Bright Face Primer. It has like a nice pump on it. I just hauled this in my recent Sephora haul. I take about 2 pumps of it, warm it up with my fingertips, and I start just right in this center area of my face and lightly blend it outward. I love this primer so much. It gives your skin such a clean, pretty canvas to work with. I personally have combo oily skin and I really notice my pores like in my T-zone area. So in order to help prevent my pores from really coming through and showing, I like to go in with a pore filling primer. This one here is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. I just recently picked this up and I used this a couple of times and I actually really enjoy it. Another thing about this primer is, just like the Ole Henriksen moisturizer, you really don't need a lot. I just use a tiny bit and I warm it up and apply it to like where my pores are. I was using the Tatcha Silk Canvas one ever since it came out. I've been obsessed with that one, but recently I found that it wasn't really soaking in to my skin the way I wanted it to. It was kind of just sitting on my skin and I felt like the more I wore it, I would notice that about it and it just was a turn off. So I decided to go ahead and try the Tarte one. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. Now, this is what my skin looks like with just the moisturizer and primers on. It looks really good. I think it looks very healthy and dewy and clean, but we love a cake face. So for today's foundation, of course, I'm going to be taking the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Seashell. If you guys have been following me, you know that I love this foundation. In my Sephora haul that I recently just posted, I did mention that I picked up a new shade because my other shade I ran out of. So in order to apply this foundation, what I like to do is I'm just applying it to like a clean plastic Cosmo Cube surface, and I take about 3 pumps. And the way I've been applying my foundation lately, I'm trying to find the brush. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I take it on a brush and place it on the skin. And then I go ahead and blend all that product out and make sure it's seamless and even. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect though, because once I'm done with the brush work, I like to go in with a damp sponge, beauty blender, whatever you want to call it, and I go in and just tap out the places where I felt like the brush might have kind of glazed over or missed. Don't have to add any extra foundation. You can just go ahead and tap out your face with a damp sponge with no extra product. But when I'm doing full glam, I really like to just add a little bit more full coverage. And then I'm taking the same amount on the other side of my face and pressing it in. I've lately been using the KKW Fair 1 contour stick, but as you guys can see, it's literally a nub. So I only have enough to really use this on my nose area and not on the rest of my face. I actually ordered the new Huda Beauty Tantour product, and then I'm gonna order some more of the KKW contour sticks when she has a Memorial Day sale, because she had one last year and it was 20% off. And then I'm also taking the Clinique Chubby Stick and I'm just placing this in the hollows of my cheeks, on my chin, on my forehead. Blend all this product out. I'm going to be taking the Real Techniques brush. Since my nose is more of a defined spot, I'm going to be taking just a small shadow brush to blend this out. I feel like the Real Techniques brush is just a little bit too big for the nose area. You'll see here, like you can kind of see how that looks a little bit chunky or maybe not blended. I don't really worry about that because once again, I always take a sponge and I go in and just kind of soften it all up and blend it. I really like using that brush to start the blend and to help, but really I do a lot of my work with a beauty blender because I feel like it just really can soften the look and make it look more natural and more realistic, if that makes literally any sense. And I just take like the bigger side of it and I just slowly go around the areas of my face where I first applied the contour and bronzer creams. 16-hour camo concealer mixed with the KKW one. I love this e.l.f. concealer as well. I think it's a bomb concealer. It has a really nice doe foot applicator and it just applies really nice to the skin. Like you guys see here, it gives a really nice brightening effect underneath the eye and I just really enjoy using it. Now taking the KKW one, I'm just applying it in the areas where I didn't apply the e.l.f. one. The KKW one is more yellow based where the e.l.f. one is more pink based, so I feel like they just really offset each other. Also, like you guys can see, it is just really bright and I'm obsessed with it. I think it looks really pretty. And I'm going to be taking a Morphe G2 to just blend this out. If you've learned anything so far, I hope you learned that I don't really blend everything out completely with a brush because I always like to go back in with a damp beauty blender. I just feel like it really does a great job. I'm also pulling the concealer onto the eyelid to serve as my eyeshadow base. So bright. I might have went a little too bright, but it's all right. We'll fix it. And then just take a little extra product here to really brighten. I'm gonna take that same sponge and just lightly tap everything out. The e.l.f. concealer does set a little quick, so you do want to work with it semi-fast. Some concealers do set quicker than others, whereas some of them you have a little bit extra more time. To bake everything, I'm taking the Huda Beauty sugar cookie, take it on the sponge like this, and then kind of roll it out on my hand so it doesn't get like all that extra powder, and then just lightly press it and bake it into the skin, and then pick up the extra powder that's on the hand and same thing. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I really want this to set nice. And then same thing on the other eye. I was using the Laura Mercier one for a while. I love the Laura Mercier one. I think it's an amazing powder. Just if I use it too much, I tend to get like little bumps underneath my eyes. I think it's because just there's something in that product that makes me get little bumps everywhere, and I really love it though, so you'll probably see me use it to bake like underneath my bronzer in a little, but I went back to the Huda Beauty one because it doesn't do that to like my under eye area, and obviously if I'm having a reaction to a product, I don't want to keep using it. So while that's baking, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows and I will be right back. Now that my brows are on, feeling a little bit more normal, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the bake. I'm just going to be taking like a fluffy brush and just kind of lightly dusting it away. I also have to dust it away on my actual eyelid because of course our next step is our shadow. If I was using like a new eyeshadow palette, I would probably leave the bake underneath the eyes on, but since I've played with these eyeshadows before and I know that they don't have ball out, I don't have to worry about that. I do want to set the rest of my face, so I'm going to take the Becca Be the Light face palette in light to medium. Oh, it was bad. And I'm going to be taking like this blur shade, they call it, and I'm just going to be picking it up and kind of placing it all over my face. I've been using this blur powder for quite some time now. That's like the main thing I use out of this palette, and I really like it. It just gives like a really nice soft touch look to your skin. And then I always like to take it underneath the eyes too and blend it out. I also feel like once I go in with like my bronzers and stuff, this also just gives like a really nice base for everything to lay on, and as I blend and everything, it does make it look more blurred. So it's a really good powder. Moving on to eyes. Like I said, I do want to do like a peachy kind of look. So I'm going to be taking the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. I haven't used this palette in a hot minute, but it does get a lot of love from me because I do really love this palette. So I'm going to be taking just a clean white Morphe M441 brush, and I'm taking the shade Peaches and Cream and Just Peachy, these two, and I'm going to go ahead and just apply these two shades to the crease area. I love peachy eyeshadows. Delicious. Like you guys can see, I'm also patting and then lightly dusting. I've been patting a lot on the eyes because I feel like it does a really good job at blending, but I also like to use the windshield wiper motion as well. I don't want this look to get too dark, so I'm really trying to just keep it nice and light and airy. Whew, my hand. Alright, so now that those colors are on, I'm going to be taking the shade Peach Punch. It's just a really bright peach color. I'm going to be taking it, on a smaller brush though, because I really want to kind of keep it defined in the crease area. This shade's really pretty. I'm doing it the same over here. Going back to that same Morphe brush, I'm just tapping and blending that Peach Punch shade in and out. As you guys can also see, my like whole lid space, still I didn't do anything to, because I'm gonna go in with like a really pretty shimmer shade, so I'm kind of just like ignoring the lid area. For the lid shade, I'm going to be using the Stila Glitter and Glow in the color Peachy Sheen. I love these. I think they're so pretty and they're really easy to work with. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this right into the center. And then I'll slowly just tap it out. One thing about these too is they don't dry like super fast, so you typically have a minute to work with them, which is really nice. And they also build up really beautiful, so if a shade isn't like doing what you want it to do, you can always just build it and it'll look really good. I have more of like a hooded eye, so I typically keep like the glitter part lower and then I'll blend it. Because if I take it straight up into the crease area, it's a hot mess. Honestly, I'm not like wowed by this glitter and glow. Thought I was gonna have a little bit more peachy to it, but it doesn't really, but that's okay. It is really pretty still. It's giving me like a glitter topper to the lid, which it's not that I don't like it, but I wanted something just a little bit more opaque. But that's okay. All right, so that is on. I'm gonna go back into just this more defined brush and pick up just Peachy and Peach Punch mixed and just like buff it into the outer V and then carry it along inside the crease area in the upper, just to get that peachy look back. And same on this side, pack, 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 sweep and blend. So for the lower lash line, I'm taking a more defined brush. I'm taking Peaches and Cream and just Peachy, and I'm just gonna start to apply it. Blend it out with that same little Luxie brush that I've been using. For eyeliner, I'm taking this brown L'Oreal liner. I've actually never tried these L'Oreal liners before, but they were sent to me in PR, so I'm gonna go ahead and just apply a straight line. I'm not doing a wing or anything. I feel like, I don't know. I haven't done a wing in a while, so I don't want to do one and then mess it up. I'm gonna go ahead now and apply my eyelashes and I will be right back. And bronze up the face. What I've been doing recently is like a combo of different types of bronzers. I just really like the way it gives my skin a nice glow. So first I'm starting off with the Fenty Sun Stalker Bronzer in Inda Sun. And since this is obviously a matte and it's more of like a cooly, warmy tone, it's just right in the middle, I take it on the Fenty bronzer brush and just apply it exactly where I put our cream bronzer and contour. And I just will do this. I don't really put a lot on my forehead because I feel like my forehead's already kind of small. So I'm put it on the ears. And then same thing on the other side. I love this bronzer though because it's like a really pretty matte bronzer, but it's very, very soft and you can really build it up. It does a really good job. Add some to the nose just to add a little bit more. All right, so now that that is done, I'm going into my Hourglass Diffused Bronze Light Bronzer. If you've been following me for a while, you know this is my favorite bronzer ever, and I'm just taking it on like a big Hourglass brush. And this is more of like a glowy bronzer, so it gives a really pretty, just like luminous look to the skin. It has their ambient powder diffuse, that's why it has like that marble effect. So it gives a nice wash of color, but then it also adds like just a really nice diffused bronze look. It's not like super intense in your face, but since I did go in with that Fenty one, that really added on the pigment and the color for me. Modern Mandarin by MAC, and I also have Clinique Peach Pop. I feel like I'm gonna end up mixing these two because this one just seems a little bit too orange for my liking, but then the Peach Pop, I don't know, I kind of want it just a little bit more orange than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with Modern Mandarin and just apply it. All right, now I'm gonna go in with Peach Pop. Yeah, that really adds that nice peachy, but I also really like having that mandarin color because it brings out more of the orange. I'm gonna go ahead and just blend that together. So the next step is highlighter. I did a whole video on this collection. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter. I've used this highlighter every day since I got it. It's a really interesting formula. It's like a jelly powder. It's very, very interesting, but I'm obsessed with it. So I'm gonna take this on my Anastasia A23 brush and just apply it to the highlights and high points of my face. It gives just a really pretty color and a really pretty base, because as if one highlighter isn't enough, I always go in with a second one, but this just gives such gorgeousness to the skin. And then I also take like a smaller brush and I take this and apply it to the inner corners of my eyes. I've been doing this literally every day too. It just really gives the inner corner of your eye a really pretty highlighted pop. Like, you guys can tell the difference. This eye just looks much more awake and popped, if that makes any sense. And then I also take it on this small brush and just run it down my nose. For the actual highlight, I'm going to be using the Natasha Denona Super Glow in Fair 1. This is literally the best powder highlighter I've ever worked with. You can build it up, you can make it look really natural. It's just a really pretty highlighter. She has 2 other shades of it, and I highly recommend them. To set the skin, I am using the Anastasia Dewy Set. It's the first round of setting. I always set my skin like 2 or 3 times. I really love the Anastasia one though. It just gives like such a pretty look to the skin. I've gone through like almost half of this already, but it's just so bomb. Alright. Alright, time for round 2. I'm not done yet because I still have to do my lip color, but I am going to be doing a nude lip. So I'm going to be taking the Urban Decay Walk of Shame 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil. This is like a really super pale nude. These 3 lipsticks are my favorite lipsticks ever. I have Tarte Beach Babe, MAC Myth, and I also have the Balmain L'Oreal Urban Safari. Now, they all are nudes, but they all are like a different nude. So this one here, first swatched, is Beach Babe. That one's not as nude as the other 2, but it's still really nude. Next to Beach Babe is Myth. Now, obviously, looking at that, you guys can see a clear difference in which one is more nude. Myth is definitely more nude than Beach Babe, but I really do like Beach Babe. I think it's really pretty. And then lastly, we have this one here, and this one is the Urban Safari one, and same thing. So you can obviously see this one's the L'Oreal one. Myth is a lot more pinky out of all of them. Myth is definitely pinkier, so I think I'm gonna go in with, geez, which one? I'm gonna go in with the Safari one because I just feel like the MAC one is just a little bit too pink and Beach Babe just a little too dark, but the L'Oreal one I feel like will just be like a really pretty nude color. Of course, this wouldn't be a completed peachy look without a gloss. So I'm taking the KKW and Mario Super Nude Lip Gloss. This lip gloss is like the best lip gloss ever. I love the shade Super Nude. It's so pretty. So that is it for this video. Like always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Leave me your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.